Erich von Daniken states, the extraterrestrial space aliens were also the Greek gods. This is his strange story. Yes, that's also what ancient Greek texts and ancient Greek historians told us, that they believed that the ancient gods, Zeus and the Olympian gods, were actually extraterrestrials. I found it by chance in a forum. It's very interesting. The guy is not Greek. This is by Erich von Daniken. Of course, he's not Greek. We modern humans, according to Hesiod, belong to the fifth faction created by Zeus, the race of iron, a mixture of good and evil. This is what author Erich von Daniken says. The Odyssey of the Greeks, the history of extraterrestrial communication in ancient Greece. Zeus, the father of gods and men who ruled the Olympians on Olympus in Greece, that was supposed to be their headquarters, fought the Golden Age and the giant titans and created and destroyed the world. True story? For the last few months of 2011, people have explored the possibility that the ancient Greek god Zeus, Athena, who was supposedly born out of his head, Apollo, Prometheus, and all the so-called Greek gods of the gods of Olympus pantheon were in fact beings with extraterrestrial intelligence truly on Earth and not mythological constructions. This investigation was launched on the occasion of a friend who is a specialized home security subcontractor working with infrared cameras and a government facility in Montgomery, Alabama. Kindly support my Patreon account since YouTube has again demonetized my YouTube channel. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below. This, of course, is an image of Erich von Daniken in one of the Egyptian pyramids, showing us what looks like an electrical contraption of the Dendera light bulb. But going back to the infrared cameras by this home security subcontractor. 4 years ago, just before the sunrise on June 25th, 2007, he was in control of the infrared cameras at his facility about 6 miles from the Maxwell Air Force Base and Gunter Air Force Base branch in Montgomery, Alabama. He was in control of the infrared cameras there. Because his work is so sensitive, I then asked and cannot use his real name. I call him Ted Connors. So I called Ted early in the morning, and he told me that he had seen one of the Dragonfly drones, which was photographed by various people in 2007, but what he saw was right behind a tree and almost as if it was hiding. In October 2010, Ted had another strange experience in the same place and spot on the tree that the previous experience was, and the events that happened left him with the information and the thought that intelligence is behind technology. Dragonfly are the same people who were behind the ancient Greek culture. They are non-humans from another part of this world, another dimension, or even another timeline. When Ted went to the libraries to look for words he remembered from the meeting he had, including all thesis, he found that the word was mentioned 3 times in a book entitled 1962, Ancient Greek Gods and Lore Revisited, Ancient Greek Gods and Lore Revisited, or rent the book from the local Montgomery library. Within 48 hours, the book was confiscated from him at work by National Security and Homeland Security agents under the Patriotic Act. So I was surprised to learn 2 months ago that Erich von Daniken recently released the 2nd edition of a previous work called The Odyssey of the Gods, which is about, quote, the history of extraterrestrial communication in ancient Greece, end quote. So Erich von Daniken, the aliens were also Greek gods, he said. I searched for this word, Oltissis, for a while, Oltissis, And all I found was a reference to the website internalastronaut.com next to 3 strange photos from an old archive of the website that has now been closed. Strange website. What does all this mean? So also in another forum, I found that the guy had other pages that were closed. He or she also had another site which redirects to Internal Astronaut site, and also MySpace Internal Astronaut. So there's a weird Wikipedia page, Internal Astronaut, and down arrow keys, increase, decrease the volume. Creepy, interesting all at the same time. Wikipedia also mentions the name of the strange website. The strange and self-text of Wikipedia says, Internal Astronaut user, Wikipedia from Free Encyclopedia, words on internal space navigation by Virgil Crow. We are all holographic life forms modulating in and through a programmed reality called nature. The cycle of life, birth to death is a field test to develop the inner workings of eternal growth. We are all God having a human experience. To better understand yourself as to your relationship to others and on a wider scale, the universe, both internal and external, you must first fathom the depths in your own subconscious. Herein lies the fabric and the adhesive to what you are, and more importantly, what you are capable of. On a broader scale, we are all of the same. However, each of us is individual in the fact that we are transmitters, receivers within a specific sector of the hologram. In other words, we are more or less replicas of each other, gathering data from our precise location, hence XY coordinate, and reporting our findings to the collective through merely having the experience. To be a successful internal astronaut, you must not give in to your automatic fear receptors that are designed to displace energy into a form of cyclical redundancy. This dead end will keep you from achieving your ultimate goal, total recall of omnipotent status. Perhaps the 2020 is a metaphor used to illustrate the nature of becoming one with the universe, a guide, if you will, for studying a potential of human understanding into and through the void of perceived separation from self, hence God. Harmonically modulating life form. And this is from this text is taken from Wikipedia Internal Astronaut. I've translated this for you from a Greek article. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support.